My name is Mark Coleman, and I am an Education Technology Specialist with the Alabama State Department of Education. And there's been a lot of confusion among parents and teachers on the different platforms being used as schools go virtual in varying capacities in the wake of COVID-19. I thought I would take a couple of minutes and explain how Alabama is implementing virtual learning platforms. Bear in mind, there are over 150 public school systems within the state, and some of them have their own variations to these platforms. Also, we went from a staged and highly managed rollout of some of this to a situation where things had to happen immediately. There may be some technical issues. The first platform to know about is the Student Information System, SIS. This is a big database that contains every piece of information about the students, their schedules, their grades, their transcripts, medical information, parent contacts, discipline, etc. It is also where counselors schedule teachers and classes throughout the day, and then populate those classes with students. The state of Alabama tries to standardize this system, so when a student transfers from one school to another, across town or across the state, they can easily have that information follow them. It also allows ease of reporting between the local systems and the state. The attendance report always looks like this, the data on the English language learners always looks like this, etc. If you've been around Alabama education for a while, you probably remember STI, one of the first SIS to be used widely across the state. That product evolved over the years and there were corporate mergers and acquisitions, so STI became iNow, which became Chalkable, which was purchased by PowerSchool a couple of years ago. PowerSchool has its own system, and the state has been making preparations to migrate since last year, pre-COVID-19. The transition hasn't happened yet, so a lot of heavy lifting is being done by the Chalkable iNow system right now. Let's bring in another piece of the puzzle, the Learning Management System, or LMS. This is a website platform that lets a teacher have a class online. The teacher can distribute the student resources and material as well as take up work and grade it digitally. LMS have been around since the late 90s, and if you have used a platform like Desire to Learn, Blackboard, Moodle, WebCT, or Canvas, you have used an LMS. Schoology is a very powerful and modern LMS that many schools have been using for about a decade. It was purchased by PowerSchool in 2019. Having an SIS and LMS together can make a very efficient system. When students are placed in a schedule or class by Chalkable or PowerSchool, a login to Schoology can be generated and the student is then placed in the correct Schoology classes with the correct teacher. That teacher can then assign work, grades, provide feedback and resources, all the things they do in a normal class, but online. While many of our teachers have been making great advances into teaching online over the last decade, it's a new world for most of the state. To help teachers make this jump to online classes or the hybrid model where work is online with occasional face-to-face instruction, the state of Alabama licensed material from Schools PLP. Think of this as buying digital textbooks and workbooks for all our grades and subjects to use in classes. This is how it should work. When the student goes into the system at registration, PowerSchool generates a Schoology account for them and places them in their correct classes. Since Chalkable is doing the work of the SIS at this point, local systems are having to employ a variety of means to make this happen. Once the student is in their classes, the teacher can then assign the digital resources from Schools PLP. This text, these images, those exercises, etc. The teacher can also incorporate digital resources, platforms, and tools from around the web or provided by the local district. The students log into Schoology, see their resources, work, assignments, class meetings, their graded work. When PowerSchool is online, it will automatically import the grades from Schoology. But until then, teachers will have to manually enter grades into Chalkable. This is how it is all supposed to work. Your system may have some differences, and this has been rolled out quickly as opposed to gradually. Right now, all of the problems are being seen at once, so please bear with your local system, school, and teachers. They're changing the way school is done and having to do it on a greatly accelerated timetable. They're reshaping education for the foreseeable future even after COVID-19. It is no small task. If you are struggling, reach out to the teacher, technology coordinator, and administration of your school. They have resources available, and if they don't have the answers for your specific issues, they have a wealth of places to find them.